Okay, this is going to be a brief video on the 20-inch Jobsite tool organizers. Just some of the things that I really like about it. I seen a post where somebody was saying they need to post a video, so I'm going to just kind of give a quick rundown just to give somebody ideas. One thing I like about the handle is that it's like positioned. You have different sets where it'll actually stay in place. So it's not just flopping around. It'll actually sit in place. I don't know if you can see that, but so it's got preset positions, which is really nice because you don't want them flopping around on you. So that's really nice. The side latches, where they actually stick together, these are really nice as well. I think they're really nicely built with this latch right here. Click that one in. Click that one in, and there you go. And as you can see, I got this one full of MC connectors and straps and stuff, and everything's where it belongs. I did this with screws and nuts and bolts, small like 632s, 832s and stuff. Everything in the bins stayed in the bins where they were originally at. So these detents, which, let's see if I can actually show them. These detents are recessed really well. So they fit nice and snugly up against the actual boxes themselves. So they're really nice. They actually keep everything where they belong. The latches are very well made. They don't pop open when you drop it. Like I said, I've done drop tests on it because I recently needed a bunch of these for organization, for miscellaneous stuff like this, for my service truck and electrical. And all of them were junk. So I put this thing through all kind of tests, and this, I got to tell you, this is amazing. If you're looking for an actual organizer that works good, this is definitely not going to disappoint. You've got this gasket right here that goes all the way around. It seals on this. There's like a raised detent there, so it actually pushes up against. I don't know if you can see where it actually bonds to it right there. So it's a great seal. It seals it off. I did spray it down with water to double check, make sure everything stayed dry, and it does. It stays dry. Another thing is, inside of these bins, if you take this front row out, you've got a spacer here. That spacer is actually really nice because, I don't know if you can see it, but there's a slot. This whole slot right here is meant for tools. This way, if you only need to take one of these bins with just a couple pieces of material, you know, all you need to do is take those 4 bins out, and then you got room for tools and, you know, a couple pieces of miscellaneous material. Like if you're doing Romex, you put your strippers, your Kleins, and your Romex connectors and stuff like that in the other bins. I'll close this one back up real quick. Latch these. Oh, and the latches are self-maintaining. So when you're not using the latches, they will stay closed and they won't flop around. So they do close on themselves, which is a nice feature to have. Sorry, I know this video is going to be kind of crappy, but I'm reduced to using my phone. Another thing that's really nice, these are of a pretty heavy material. As you can see, there's ridges on it that help support it. They're squared off, which helps support it even more. You can take it in your hand and try and deform it. It's very stiff, which is really nice. Now, if you look at the back of each one, every one of these has the same thing. You can see these ridges right here. Every one of them have them. It's on one side of every single one of them. And what that is, it's a lip. So you can hang it off the side of like a ladder, you know, and just lay it up on the side. Or you can take, I have to try and do this by myself. Take a Sharpie. Say you're doing something next to a wall or something. Just take a Sharpie, or actually your Inkzol, which is obviously what I'm using these days because Sharpie ain't worth shit anymore. Haven't been for a while. Mark your spots. And there it goes. Self-sustaining. And you know, if you're working next to a wall or something like that, and you got a bunch of drive pins that you're using on a concrete wall or something, you can hang this from like the furnace strip or 2x4s or whatever you're doing. You know, you get the picture. It's a, you know, it's a really nice heavy-duty build, and it's, like I said, it's rigid. You can, I don't know how much you can put in there, but I mean, I'm putting a pretty good amount of force on there, and it's not breaking. So in terms of quality, this is, and I can tell you from personal experience, having recently looked around for something worth a crap, they're all junk except for this. This is absolutely the best organizer ever made, and especially considering that the best one ever made is from a company that's never done it before, is even more amazing. You know I've gone over and above, you know, touting these organizers, but it's for good reason. You know, for people who are organizing freaks like me, especially when you deal with a lot of miscellaneous small materials, but you gotta have all of them. These are perfect. You know, you got a bunch of bins, a bunch of material, so these are perfect. It's just a quick rundown. I'm sure I'm missing a lot of stuff about it, but you can't beat them. They're great. They're fantastic, and I would definitely highly recommend them. And if you're still leery about them, I'd say it's worth, you know, running down to Home Depot, picking one up for $25 and just testing it out. I promise you will not be disappointed.